Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we've got something very special. We are reviewing the Can-Am Ryker 600 in not so sunny Lanzarote. So if that's something you're interested in, hang around, but first roll the credits. Okay, welcome back. So the Can-Am Ryker 600, as you can see, it is a trike, and the first impressions you get when you approach the bike is that it is a real head turner. It's like nothing you have ever seen before. Wherever you go on one of these, I'm sure you're going to get lots of looks and people coming up to you and asking you about it. We already had one person come up to us and ask us about them this morning before we set out. The first thing I can say about the ergonomics of the bike is when you sit on them, they are extremely low and extremely comfortable. Your feet go slightly forward, as in a cruiser style position, and it's a very upright seated position. Okay, as you can see, there are no levers, you have no clutch, you have no brakes. The trike is completely automatic, and you have one foot brake that applies all three brakes at the same time. The brakes on these bikes, they aren't mega sharp, however they do inspire confidence when you're actually pressing the brake. Now, the way that these things handle are totally different to a motorbike. There is no counter steering. On a motorbike, if you were to press down on the right hand handlebar, you would lean into the bend and go round. On this, it's the total opposite. If you press down on that bar, it will push you left. I find that when I'm steering, the steering is very heavy. It's quite a maul to get it round corners, and I tend to be, if I want to go right, I'll be pulling back on the handlebars to maul it around. Also, the centre of gravity is totally different to riding a motorbike. When you go into a right hand bend, you sort of lean in with the bike, and the bike wants you to lean with it. On the Ryker, it's the total opposite. When you go round a bend, if you're going round a right-hand bend, it's trying to throw you off to the left, and that's another reason why you find yourself pulling on whichever side bend you're going into on the handlebar, if that makes sense. It's almost like being on a fairground ride when they say slide to the end and crush your friend. That's the type of feeling that you get with it. I expected the bike to feel really stable on the road of having the two wheels up front with quite a distance in between them, but it's the opposite. The steering is very twitchy. You know, the slightest movement on the handlebars upsets the whole of the trike. It's quite unnerving when you first get on, but you soon get used to it. Another thing that is quite amazing, you get so much feedback through the whole of the bike. When the road surfaces change, you can feel every slight difference in the road surface. Turbulence wise, it's clear air, you've got no protection on the front here. However, it's really nice on a warm place like Lanzarote. It's very nice to ride. The only other thing that I can mention, I don't have my motorcycle boots with me because I just didn't have enough room to pack them in my case, and I find that the inside of my ankles actually rub on the frame, so you would need motorcycle boots to make this a comfortable place to be on a long ride. Other than that, the dash, let me just put the dash on for you. Okay, so on the dash, as you can see, we have a full fuel indicator, we have a temperature indicator, P is for park, and then you have your trip, your speedometer in the centre, and that is about it really, folks. It's a really simple machine. So we'll get riding and see what it's like on the road. Okay, so actually riding the bike out on the open road, as I said, you've got no weather protection. Your legs are pretty well protected, but your upper body is really up in clear air. There are a lot of vibrations through the bike, through the handlebars, through the seat. The mirrors are vibrating that much, it's really difficult to make any detail behind you. You can see vehicles okay, but you'd be hard pressed to see any detail in those vehicles because it just vibrates so much. The acceleration, this is a 600cc bike. The acceleration, it's nothing amazing, it's nothing special, but it's enough to have fun on. You can feel it pressing you back in the seat, and I think because the steering feels so twitchy, I don't know whether I'd like to even sample the 900cc. Perhaps that's just because I'm not used to the bike, but at the moment, you know, I've only been on the bike about half an hour, 30 minutes, and it just feels really twitchy for the amount of power that the bike has. We're here on Lanzarote. Hopefully it's going to brighten up. It's normally cloudy in the morning and then starts brightening up around lunchtime, so hopefully we'll get some more sun later on in the afternoon. So what would the uses be for this motorcycle? Well, I use the term very lightly, motorcycle. It's really strange. In some ways it feels like you're riding a motorcycle. You're out in the elements, you've got all of the handlebars, but in the way that it actually handles, it is absolutely nothing like a motorcycle. The good thing about these Rykers is you do not need a car license, you do not need a motorcycle license, to ride one. You can ride these on a car license, and to be honest, I don't think you really need any motorcycle training. I think riding one of these on a car license is perfectly safe, because they just do not handle in any way like a motorcycle. So if you've never ridden a motorcycle and you're thinking about one of these coming straight from a car, I think you would be fine. The uses that you could have for these, obviously this would be a winter machine for me. I've been very interested in test riding one of these because I don't want to buy a car. However, in the depths of winter where I live, it gets very icy, very cold, and there are some times when it's just too dangerous to go out on the bike, and I think one of these would be very, very good in that situation. Could you go touring on it? I do believe that you can now buy kits, aftermarket kits, where you can put a top box on and you can put panniers on. The problem with that is the top box goes where the rear pillion seat is, so it would only be a single person vehicle if you were going to go down that route. If you didn't go down that route, I think they're not really suitable for touring too up. You would have to buy the RT model, which is a touring model. This is just for zipping around town on. Like I say, I think you could go touring on it as a single person if you bought the aftermarket kit, panniers and top box. But very, very much I think this is more a Sunday ride, a leisure machine, commuting to and from work rather than an out and out tour. Here you can see the roll-on power, you know, and there is lots of power, but my word, it does feel twitchy. Okay everybody, so this is the little town of Orzola. I don't really know a lot about this area of Lanzarote. I don't know whether this is a typical town, but I should imagine it is. I'm sure we will find out as we make our way around the island today. We're going to go top to bottom of the island today. We'll be looking at going through some national park landscape, having a look at the mountains. I believe it is quite diverse. with the scenery around here. Okay, suspension wise on the vehicle, going over these speed bumps, I have to say it's very comfy. It really does soak the bumps up really well. Okay, welcome back everybody. So as you can see, we are just coming into the little town of Teguise. It all looks very picturesque, very nice. To say all these towns are a little bit of a muchness. They all built and look the same, but they are very pretty. As the day wears on, the sun is beginning to break through and it looks like we're going to have a really nice day for it. Got these bikes for the whole of the day, don't have to be back until tomorrow morning, so me and the wife, we're going to make the most of it and get all around the island and show you what Lanzarote has to offer. I have to say, it is so different riding one of these trikes to riding a normal bike. It's taken me such a long time to get used to it. It's not unpleasurable, it's just different, very different. Okay, so we're still coming through Teguise now. Very quaint little town. My wife has just informed me it's coming up to 25 degrees, so we're warming up nicely. What I plan to do today is stop off somewhere and get a nice little bit of lunch. Making our way back to the hotel. Look at that. How strange. Oh, it's so strange going around corners. It just feels as though the bike is going to tip up. Apparently it's got a really clever ECU so that it stops it from tipping up, but it is a strange sensation. Okay, so this next leg of the journey, we're actually heading into a national reserve park. It's supposed to be the volcanic area where all the volcanoes are. I'm pretty sure they're all extinct now, but who knows, we might see some fireworks. Well everybody, look at that for a view. Absolutely amazing. It's not quite the west coast of Scotland jaw-dropping, but it's still nice in a different way. Well, we're coming through the volcano mountains now and the scenery is just spectacular. It's so different to what I'm used to. And one of the things that I will say, you can't enjoy sweeping bands the same as you do when you're on a motorcycle. Every time I come around a sweeping band, I feel as if I'm taking my life into my own hands. It really does throw you off the centre of gravity. It feels as though the bike's trying to throw you off. It's a bit off-putting, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. I have to say that I seriously enjoy riding a two-wheel motorbike through sweeping bands more than riding the Can-Am. Wow, look at this. I feel like I'm in Iraq again. What a view, just look at that, people. Okay, just to go back to what I was trying to explain about the bike and the positioning of the wheels. On a motorcycle, if you look at the road ahead, you have three positions. So you will have the middle position and then slightly to the left and slightly to the right, and depending on the road conditions you would position a motorbike in those positions. So if I wanted to position myself slightly to the left, to the centre line, the bike would be in this position here. However, if you look at my front wheel now, it's right over the edge, so I can't do that. And it's the same if I wanted to move over to the right hand side. Perhaps if I was going round a long left sweeping bend on a motorbike, I would position myself on the right side of the road. But if I took that position the same as riding a motorbike, then my right wheel would leave the road and I'd most probably come off. So that's what I was trying to explain. I didn't explain it very well earlier, and it's very easy to switch off and lose concentration and automatically put yourself in those positions as though you're riding a bike. Okay everybody, this is Tornajo. I have to say, all these towns, they have a real, Mexican feeling to them. I feel like I'm about to enter a killer's video. Where is it? Outside that little white church. I don't know if you've seen it. It's all very picturesque. So we'll try and head over into the volcanoes now. Stay tuned. Okay folks, so on this beautiful day we are now going to head over to a place on the coast called El Golfo. I haven't got a clue what it looks like, I haven't got a clue where I'm going, I am just following the sun. What a quaint little town. We'll get to El Golfo, and if there is, we'll have a little photo opportunity. Lanzarote or Indian, whatever that is. Well, seems like we've got a few of my friends from the Middle East up here. Now them are what you call big camels. So, okay everybody, I think we are coming into Porto del Carmen. It's a nice little place.
After 300 yards, go right on the roundabout, first exit.
I think this is one of the other holiday hotspots, lots of apartments and hotels here. Never been here before. We're currently located at Costa Teguise, which is where our hotel is and where we hired the Can-Ams from. So we'll take a little look, see what it's like, and then we'll make our way back over to Costa Teguise, because as you can tell by the long shadows, it's getting rather late in the day now.
Then turn right.
I've just been told off by my wife for not indicating. Yes dear, I'll indicate.
Turn right, then you have reached your destination.
So it doesn't look a bad little place here. There's a nice bike in front. Nice Harley. Wow, look at that, that is nice. Okay, so what have I learnt after a full day in the saddle of the Ryker? Okay, in one aspect it is very comfortable. The seat is very comfortable. At slow speeds, the suspension is very comfortable as well. However, it is quite tiring to ride at speed. As you pick up speed, the suspension firms up. You feel every little bump. It's good for feedback from the road, but it's quite a harsh ride. And on top of that, when you're taking big sweeping bends at a fair clip, you really do have to maul the bike around. And on top of that, travelling at high speed, 60 to 70 mile an hour in a straight line, the bike feels very twitchy. If you hit a little bit of a bump in the road, or if you start accelerating hard, it does throw the bike around, and you really have to concentrate on controlling the bike, keeping it in a straight line. Again, positioning on the road, you have to be very, very careful where the wheels are actually positioned. Basically, if you were riding this as a motorbike, you would just ride in the middle of the road. That would be your position on a motorbike, and that is the position you have to maintain at all times, regardless of the road conditions. You have to centre your actual body right in the centre of the road, because you've got two wheels sticking out either side at quite a wide distance. Altogether, I'm very impressed with it. I would like to ride the touring version of the RT and see how I go on with that. But all in all, very, very pleased. Nice little machine. Okay, everybody, so we're just coming into Costa Teguise, where my hotel is located. So I'd just like to say I hope everybody has enjoyed our little trip around Lanzarote. Stay tuned into the channel. There's lots more coming up to the channel in the coming weeks. All that's left to say is thank you very much for watching and keeping the faith. Everybody ride safe. Bike Rider Reviews out.